risk factors. Not having a sound set of coping strategies for dealing with stress in life. That is fundamentally the biggest risk factor. Okay? So then from there, then you look at, okay, why may that person not have developed it? Maybe the environment didn't provide them with that sort of education or exposure. Why not? What was going on in the environment? Why were they not receiving it? Maybe family was too busy, or family's way of managing the stress was also not so healthy. Right? So you think the risk factors would be if they have relational problems in their life, challenges, whether it is with family, parents, siblings. What else? Other risk factors if self-harm. Basically, I didn't mention this earlier, but basically eating disorders is a form of addiction. Addiction to harming yourself and abusing yourself, whipping yourself, being really critical of yourself. Risk factors that show up at a much younger age can pinpoint, but not always, pinpoint to the fact that they may develop an eating disorder would be self-harm behaviors, and typically people who have eating disorders also have some form of depression or anxiety. It's unclear as to what came first or what's causing what, whether depression causes eating disorders or the other way around. But frequently we see it kind of together. And also other things that show up when there's an eating disorder, other addictions like to alcohol, to cigarette smoking, and drugs as well. Right? So other risk factors is if someone is very isolated. This is a very common comorbidity with eating disorders, is withdrawnness. They socially kind of just sink back. And it could be because they feel that society won't accept them if they found out what they were struggling with, or won't accept the way they appear. And they may feel that people around them might mock them, tease them. Not may, but they probably have experienced that as well. And there are many bullies who actually have eating disorders, but you would never guess that they do, because you think that they're so forceful and strong in relationships that they may not struggle with anything. They're all perfectly put together. Other risk factors, people who are seeking to control feel that they have some sort of control over their life, their environment, their circumstances, would or could develop this condition. What the world must see of me, or what they want the world to see of them, may, as a cover-up for how they really feel on the inside. Many of them may they think that if they look a certain way, which they think makes them look pretty in their society, may think that then it would be a great mask for the severe sadness that they feel on the inside. Yeah? And frequently this is desperate desire to be accepted. So controlling oneself, you can't control whatever's going on in your life, but maybe if you controlled yourself by how much you eat, how you look, etc., then others may accept you and like you. And if you're engaged in certain kinds of sports or certain kinds of fields where how your physique or physical functioning impacts your profession or what you're trying to achieve in life, then that can impact your relationship with food or how much you're allowing yourself to eat. So there's a lot of peer pressure when it comes to those sorts of arenas. Right? If you are a dancer, if you were a model, if you were a huge music star, K-pop star, or if you were a soccer player, or more so than soccer player, it would be like a jockey, so meaning a horse rider, or if you were a race car driver, you have to be a certain weight in order for you to get into the car and keep the car's weight low and light, to say. Frequently, anyone who feels that their thinness equates to their sense of self-worth, that is a risk factor. I'm a nice person, I'm a likable person, I'm a good person only if I am 32 kilograms or 40 kilograms. People who perceive themselves as something to be abused, that they have learned over time or experienced over time that they deserve to be abused, will tend to abuse themselves in the self-harm way that we talked about earlier. People who have obsessive traits, because once, for example, for anorexia, it's a very obsessive, it's a constant, every day. You're thinking about it multiple times a day. A lot of effort goes into food, how you're going to eat it, when you're going to eat it, what you're going to eat, where you're going to eat it, who's going to see you when you eat it, who's not going to see you when you eat it. It's a preoccupation. Okay? So someone who can sustain that sort of attention on one thing like that would be, you'd say, poses a risk factor. And age is a risk factor. Usually develops with teens, late teens to early 20s. Some people develop it after that, but most of it happens at that time. Puberty is another risk factor. I don't think it's so much a genetic predisposition, but if you're surrounded by that from the time that you're young or born, and you see that that's just how it's done, and you just do the same. So it's just role modeling.